I invite you today for a walk through the sweet wall zone, which is now open. My dear, at the start you can see this banner here that says the area is open and you can enter now. We're recording this on Saturday. So basically, let's move on to that zone. And as you can see right at the beginning, we have here on the right side the building's facade from CIP already. Choco Chip Crook. Choco Chip Creek. Then here we can move on. And at 4 p.m. there's one of the shows, Energylandia Sweet Studio. Then, as we go further, on the right side we can move deeper into the entire park. Meanwhile, the Sweet Wally Park opening ceremony took place here on Friday the 20th, 25th or 26th. The Wheel of Fortune is currently here. And if I don't understand that. Something there to win, of course. Yeah, here is a place where some shows are created, so let's move on and I'll show you around. Here is the entire view of this place. This is the spot. Please, feel free to take a seat here. It's an open simply theater, and there will be a show at 4 in the afternoon. Alright, come on in. Going further, we turn left, and we get to a quite interesting attraction. For both younger and older audiences, as you can see here. Here's an attraction called Bon Balloon. It's an attraction that can be entered by people from 120 centimeters in height and with a guardian from 2 to 13 years old. The attraction rises to a height of several meters and then rotates around its own axis. Well, from this area, that's really all. So let's move on into the heart of Sweet Wally Park itself. People here are spinning wheels, as you can see, winning some mini prizes, mugs, tickets and stuff like that. Okay, moving on, we reach Choco Chip Creek, which is the flagship roller coaster of this year. Go to this park area so you can enter here. As you can see, currently it's 0 on Saturday, meaning on the opening day, and it might seem like there should be much less. There are more people here. Alright, we'll go left now. And we arrive first here in the food zone, specifically to the ice cream. We can buy ice cream here, per portion of scoops, from what I see here. But there are also some on sticks, just not in this area. As you can see, we have exclusively here ice cream, well, onto the ice cream cone. Alright, let's move on. And here we have a place where we can just sit down, rest, or just eat something. We are now heading more into the area where there will be attractions. You'll see them in a moment, of course. On the left side currently, there's nothing to see. It's not there yet, but from what I know, something might be behind the door of that pink house someday. It's just not active yet. Alright, we'll turn here for a moment into the Hungry Hen. And from what I see, there are here are just some pastas or something like that. We can choose from different kinds of pasta, compose our own set and stuff like that. Moving on, there's Candy Carousel, which is a carousel straight ahead with horses. A very calm attraction, we can go on it. It's 2-story, so you can go up to the first floor. Or there is also a second one here. The ride is short, depending. Overall, I think it's up to the operator, but lasts about a minute or perhaps a minute and 30 seconds. Okay, let's move on. And this time we get to... Here they go to Honey Harbor. Honey Harbor is nothing else but what I call Abyssus, because it reminds me of a little Abyssus. I'll show you in a sec, because color-wise, it very much reminds you, well, as you see here when you go up, there is such a phenomenon afterwards. There are a few interesting moves like in Abyssus, that's why I compared it to it, but it could also be somewhat similar to Frida, because Frida is quite similar. It has this track, only it's much more gentler. Okay, moving on. Over here we'll find, listen, shakes. We can now order various kinds of shakes, I don't know, cream shake, chocolate shake, or maybe something fruity here, green apple, strawberry. It's really a matter of choice, so that would be it. We can move on. Of course, there are also some popcorn and cotton candy, as you know, or maybe some jellies, because this is the Sweet Wally area. So, they must be here. Listen, also sweets. Okay, here is, as you can see also, look, the first photo booth. I'm not sure if it's the only one, but definitely the first. We can take a picture with the attractions here, of course. Well, now let's move on to something much calmer than, for example, Honey Harbor, although that is also a very gentle attraction. Actually, for everyone, young or old, it doesn't matter. Now, we're moving on to Bumble Boats, which I'd honestly compare to Jungle Adventure, but more of a solo thing, because as we can see, we can take these little boats and sail through the water. I see there is this little hill from which we fall into the water. Well, it probably won't splash you too much, but it's quite an interesting attraction for the younger ones, but I wouldn't recommend it for the older ones, as it can be hard to get on sometimes. At least I had a problem. Okay, let's move on. Listen. And further down there, something is further on. Generally, you forgot to mention one important thing. This area has, listen, 3 entrances. One is from Dragon City, the other right here, where now Aqualand is more or less to its end.
If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe.
And here we have Bumble Barn, where, as you can see, there is bubble tea, just in various variations. Alright, I invite you to come along. And here we'll find the toilets, of course. But that's a very minor thing, since you're probably only interested in attractions. Or different things. One might say, well, that fiesta, yes, what? No, without any gimmicks.
Really
it seems like these shakes might be cool. So we'll definitely give them a try, so keep watching the channel, because there will definitely be various things like this. I'm about to take you to a very interesting place that you might like. It's very Instagram worthy, as one might say. So as you can see right here, there's a phone booth that you can of course enter. We'll try to open it here only.
Shall we go in? Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. Just smells like a chewed stone.
We're in a phone booth right now. It's here from the sponsor Flav, and there are these donuts. There's a telephone handset, so you can.
Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.
So you got a great shot in this movie. But it's quite hot here. So let's go ahead and move on. But it's a great spot for an Instagram photo, if you'd like to take one. Moving on. We actually come to mini tractors, that is little tractors that drive around here, on the designated track. But before that, we have Crazy Barn waiting for us here. I've been on that, and honestly, it's quite shaky, but I'll take you somewhere and we'll show you roughly. Oh, we're in luck because it's just starting. And as you can see, it's basically a barn that just spins around and around for both younger and older, I admit. It spins quite well. No, but it's quite a mild attraction because of this. Everything's pretty mild in this area. A bit windy, but I hope that's not a problem. Okay, let's move on. Moving on, we actually get to those tractors I mentioned here. Right here is the entrance to this huge barn, where we will go through a ride, as you can see. Oh, will you be able to see? You won't. Probably won't be visible. Can't zoom right now. Okay, moving on. Here, next on the right, we'll encounter candy critters, but it's for up to 150 centimeters tall. So, well, most of us won't fit. It's mainly for kids. I don't understand why it's only up to a certain height either. Yes, because really everyone would fit in it, in this little carriage. But it might be due to some other issues I'm not aware of. So what's it all about? It's about kids sitting in the carriage and shooting at that tree. And they score points. As you can see, there is a counter, and we can see how many points we have later. Let's go back for a moment to those little tractors I mentioned before, because this is where they are. They move along a designated road, and as you see, cool, you can just enter and take a ride around here. A very calm attraction. It's mainly families with children who come here. Alright, let's move on. Actually, from this core, there are really only these 3 attractions in it. So let's get out, and we're about to move on to something very interesting that I mainly recommend at Energylandia, but you're about to find out soon. What's so cool here that you can't find in other parks? So follow me. I mean, come with me. Like, you have to come with me because I'm recording this. Okay, never mind. Well, let's move on. And we come to mini snails. There's a booth with mini snails here. If someone likes it, they can try, but on to more important things. So, as you can see, there are teacups here, and we might be lucky enough to see them start up soon and show how it all works.
It appears.
And it looks this way.
in such a way that they move around this platform. I'll show you that more closely in a moment. They will hang around this platform, spinning on their own axis. And here are also, I believe, 5 or maybe 4 independent little wheels that spin around. And the whole thing is really, I would say, very cool. A very pleasant ride, as you can see, fits a lot of people. There's huge throughput here, so you're almost certain to experience this attraction. As there's almost 100% certainty, there will be no wait at all.
No queues at all.
He's going to turn it on in a moment, so I'll show you that in just a bit. Okay, meanwhile, let's head over to Farm Frosty's. At Farm Frosty, you'll also find some cotton candy and that kind of stuff. But of course, there are also snacks. And here is the entrance to the Aqualantis zone. But it's like, I don't know which side this is anymore, it's vague. And now let's quickly go to Pop Money, because at Pop Money, of course, there's ice cream. And as I said, there will also be popsicles. So Pop Money is the place to be. Just ice cream on a stick, as you can see, with quite good buoyancy. You can find quite a lot here. Choose. Good morning. Quite a lot to choose from here. The selection is, as you can see, huge. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to those little cups. Oh, here's a nice one too. Let's go back to these cups, folks, because here, oh, how nicely they spin. It looks as if it was really fast. But I tell you, it might be fast, but it's really very... too close to the microphone. It might be fast, but it's really very, very pleasant. So, if someone's interested, I happily recommend it, because it's one of my favorite attractions in this zone, besides Choco Chip Creek, because that's just top notch, but you'll have to see it on my channel, of course, to let you know how cool it is. All right, let's move on. And where will this lead us this time? No. Here we also have toilets, but it's not that important right now. Oh, there's another photo booth, but I'll show it to you up close in a moment. Just maybe here too, because this is a very interesting thing. Listen, here we have waffles. This is actually quite interesting, but there are also sweet waffles, of course, so you can really try them. To each their own, right? Me personally, I'd probably try the Tuscan one. Really curious about it. Okay, now here we have a photo booth. We can take a picture with this attraction. Okay, here is the entrance from Choco Chip Creek, and there is some, well, the one with clothes. And I might want to go in here because there will be interesting clothes. I'll show you what kind in a moment. So here we have Energylandia clothes. I also saw that those were Genzi clothes, but I don't remember exactly where they could be. So now, honestly, I can't say. They were probably around here somewhere, but I have no idea where now. Okay, no, I don't know. It's not here right now. But since we've got the freezer crew here, there were also some from Genji. And of course, sweets in every corner of this zone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, we can move on. And we keep on running into... Oh no, they seem to be here. Wait, no, those are stereo rollers. There is nothing like that here though.
But I've seen it somewhere. I've seen it before.
Here we have something interesting too, because we have smoothies. Listen, we can choose some different smoothies. Is this, for example, here papaya, mango, pineapple, apple juice, or perhaps some different ones here? I'll come closer, I'll show you. So we'll definitely try it out here on my channel. And really, I don't know, maybe about this area. It might already be... that's probably it, but let's see some more. And of course, there's one more important thing in this area. Only at the very end do I show. So if you've made it this far, feel free to drop a comment. But as you can see now, over to the left, well, there are just cabinets. Something I haven't mentioned yet, which is the most important thing. Because we're not going to wander around the whole area looking for lockers, right? Alright, and that's really all from this walk around the whole Energylandia.